That's what I tell myself to cope with and deal. Try to convince myself these several years were not even real. Try to convince myself the media was making this up. That if I wait here, Morpheus will be waking me up. But instead I'm in my bed, game over. I ain't even drank nothing, but I got a hangover. First I was drunk from the lies they were feeding me. Then I sobered up and realized.
Welcome back, guys. I can tell you, I wish somebody would tap me on the shoulder and wake me up and tell me this is all a bad dream and it's been a crazy nightmare that I've been living all these years. The only problem is that's not the way it is. It was the other way around. I was living in this fantasy land, and all of a sudden I got tapped on the shoulder, and I turned around, and nothing was as I thought it was. That's the real way it is. Those boys that made the Matrix, they knew what they were doing. So, welcome back, guys. I'm hanging out today with JJink and my good friend and musician Paul Topete. And Paul, your band POKERFACE, you guys are a very well-known band. You guys aren't some ragtag little group. You guys are, well-known around the world, not even just in the U.S., but the world over. What kind of response do you get from the fans now to your music and stuff?
What's growing us is, like you said, we love the truth, man, the whole truth and nothing but the truth. And, show us the evidence, man. We're all about it. And when people try to shove something down our throat, it feels like an agenda, then we're going to call you on it. And, we're not up for the programming. We're not up for the political correctness. I got to say, I saw this movie, I rented last night called Stone. And it was Norton, De Niro, and Jojovic. And in the Bollywood movie, everybody that was in jail was mainly white and mainly skinheads. I was like, what jail does that happen, man? I mean, the political correctness is so bad in Bollywood that they try to prisons are mainly, black Hispanics and whites, but mainly blacks. But in Bollywood, it was mainly whites. And the race stuff by the white skinhead having to kill a blackie in front of Ed Norton. And he had an epiphany from it. And it's just like, it's such blatant in all the film. This is not the America that our forefathers lived and died for. This is a nightmare.
Well, it's crazy how
multinational corporate.
It's crazy how they take the movies and the TV shows and they get everybody. You notice they put the race baiting in there, and they want people to take sides and to take racial pride, and it pushes people. It kind of instills and programs that idea into people's heads, and they know what they're doing. I mean,
programming.
Yeah, dude, totally.
It's programming.
It's complete programming. They know what they're doing. They're trying to keep. It's on multiple. There's multiple things that they're getting across. It's not just one thing. I mean, they're race baiting.
No.
They're getting people to think that they're vilifying white middle class people pretty much, because that falls in line with DHS saying, hey, the terrorists are white middle class Americans. Those are the people you got to be careful of. You got to worry about the people that are pissed off about the World Bank, and anybody that says get out of the UN, or if you say 9/11 was an inside job, or if you don't agree with what Israel's doing to Palestine, that's it. You're now labeled a terrorist. Even if you're white, middle-class American, it doesn't matter. The people that have not experienced what all these other people have gone through, like the Irish, the Chinese, black people, anybody, American Indians, or I don't like to call them American Indians, I like to call them natives, but anybody, the different Latinos, what they've gone through and how they've been used and scapegoated. Now middle-class white America is going through the same exact thing. And I have noticed since Obama got in, I said this the other day, have you noticed that since he got in, if you look at the commercials on TV, it's always like you'll have like a middle or upper class black family, and the person working in the ADD commercial is a white guy or a Hispanic guy.
Yeah. He's dumb.
So now everything is switched. So now it's white people and Hispanic people are evil, and it's trying to program that idea into people's heads. I mean, that's the way my view on it is. They're trying to race bait everybody. They're trying to keep us arguing amongst
by
each other.
smallnesses, by small differences, instead of us putting that aside and saying, hey, let's come together on the majority we agree upon, that they're screwing us all together collectively.
Exactly, because they know that people are starting to realize it doesn't matter if you're black, white, purple, red, you have polka dots. We're all humans, and we need, it's us versus them, and they want to exterminate us because they look at us like cattle, and they realize that if we all wake up, that's a bad thing. So they put out this race baiting crap in TV and movies, and I have a lot of friends that they're very smart people, but one of my really good friends, he's like, it doesn't matter. And he said to me, man, Popeye, it doesn't matter what Obama does bad. He's the first black president, so I have to support him. And my friend's a black guy. And I was like, so even if he's bad and he does stuff that is horribly wrong and illegal, you'll support it because he's the first black president. And he said, yes. And I was just, I was in utter amazement how I was looking at how these elites, this New World Order, their plan completely worked. At least on him anyway, because there you go. You have somebody that this guy could bomb children into oblivion all over the world. He's the only, you've never seen a white president bombing Africa. We didn't start bombing any countries in Africa until Obama got in office. And people have said it before. He's the only president that could get away with doing that because he's got dark skin. And I'm not being racist when I say that. It's the truth. He's being used, and racism, racial pride is being used. People's racial pride is being dude, black people are being played with Obama, and anybody else that the white people that get that liberal guilt pumped into their as they want to call them or whatever, Latinos, black people, whatever, they owe them, for slavery and everything else, especially the black people. Look, I've said this before. I didn't kill anybody. I didn't take part in any slavery. Okay. I find that kind of behavior abhorrent. And if I ever saw somebody, with a quote unquote slave, I'd smash the guy's head in.
That's right. I've never oppressed, repressed, or suppressed anybody.
Exactly. So I'm not responsible for it. What happened was horrible, and if we could change it, we would, but we can't. So let's learn from it so it never happens again. But let's stop harping on it and running around with this fake guilt. At least that's my take on it. What do you think, Paul?
Dude, I'm like 10 years already fed up with this political correctness BS. It's like, that's not America. I have the right to be offended, and I have the right to offend. If people don't want to listen to me, turn me off, or don't come to my shows,
Absolutely.
I agree. First Amendment, man. The First Amendment is there to protect unpopular speech. And it's because popular speech doesn't need to be protected. Think about it. If everybody likes what you're saying, no one's going to say, hey, shut him down. The First Amendment, I think the First and Second Amendment are two most important amendments because the first one gives you the right to voice your opinion, and the Second Amendment gives you the right to back that up.
Gives you the power to keep it.
Exactly. It gives you the authority to protect yourself. Not that I need
well, you know what?
Paper.
You just said the key word right there. You have the right, the organic right to protect yourself. And if our government, our quote government, was worried about our protection and our safety, why then would they want to ban guns from legal, law-abiding citizens and make it so that only cops and criminals have guns? And cops are the biggest organized crime syndicate in this country. They are like a giant street gang.
Without a doubt. They're the most heavily armed street gang in this country. And I'm not bragging on police, but the problem is 95% of them are crap now, and there's only about 5% that are good. All right, guys, we're going to break. We'll be back in a few minutes. We got to pay the bills. Go check out the website of the network, the new website of the network, I should say, OrionTalkRadio.com. Check out my website, FederalJack.com. We'll be right back.